My name is Kathy Yates. I've been working for Santa Monica, Malibu for 25 years. I am a school bus driver.
And how did you get into the line of work of being a school bus driver?
I always loved driving heavy vehicles. I have from my grandfather, my dad, my brother, my uncle, and cousins. They all drive heavy equipment, trucks. I used to be a truck driver. I used to drive a roll-off truck. And I started driving 30 plus years ago.
And what do you find the most rewarding about the work you do as a bus driver?
Getting the kids to school and home, having the freedom of not actually being behind a desk. I'm able to see different things. Far as like going on field trips, I see different things that, far as like going to different museums, different theme parks, musicals, watching the children grow from pre-K on up to high school and graduating and having their children ride the bus, and you know, that's amazing.
So you see whole generations.
Yes.
Kids riding the bus. And how long have you been a member of Local 99, and what led you to get involved in the union and become a member?
I've been a member for 25 years. What got me involved of being a steward and on an executive board, I wanted to be an example for my daughter, showing her that a female can sit in a position and speak and be able to hold that position. In that same year that I was elected as an E-board member, my daughter ran for prom queen and she won. So it gave her courage to speak up and speak out and do something, and you know, stop hiding behind other people.
It's pretty great to do for your daughter.
Being an example for my daughter.
Yeah, no, that's great. Tell me a little bit about your history with the local. Like, do you remember when the local first, when I guess came into the district, or when did that happen? Do you remember? Were you around there? Maybe not. But when did you first became aware of there being a union at Santa Monica, Malibu?
When I first started back in October of 2001, I have entered October 23rd. That was my first day. Carol Cortez was our chief steward back then. She talked about the union. She signed us up. And from there, I really did not get involved until we lost one of our union stewards. His name was Richard Bartholomew. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he was one of our leaders. When he passed away, there was nobody else there to really speak up and go down to the local other than Carol Cortez. So I became a steward, and you know, I fight for everybody in the district whoever calls me, who needs my help.
And what keeps you going and involved in it? Because it's a lot of work when, you know, imagine members come to you with problems or issues. It can get overwhelming, but what keeps you going being such an active union member?
Well, right now, what keeps me going is I want to see some justice done for management, because there's a lot going on in Santa Monica right about now. Management now is basically, they are trying to flex their power, and us as stewards, us at 99, we're fighting back against management right about now, and we haven't gave up. We're pushing forward.
And what do you share with your coworkers about, you know, being activated? We know that sometimes that's hard, or people are scared, or they're hesitant, or you know, they're afraid of losing their jobs. What do you tell them to keep them motivated, mobilizing them to take action?
When they think they're going to lose their job, I basically tell them it takes the act of God for them to lose their job. It's just that they just have to, you know, stand firm and don't back down. You know, you're going to have your time to speak. Make sure you speak clearly, tell the truth, because management don't always tell the truth. They always, you know, go against the contract, break the contract, and just push forward.
And earlier you were speaking a little bit about the pandemic. Can you tell me a little bit more about that time, what was going on, and how the union, or being a union member, was able to get support into weather? We know a lot of people lost their jobs during that time. Things were shutting down. It was difficult. So can you tell me a little bit about what was going on during the pandemic time, and how being a union member supported you through that time?
It was a very difficult time for us, as far as a transit driver, even a SPED driver, a special education driver. Myself, I was driving from Santa Monica to Malibu, and the kids was every other seat, and let's know they were siblings. They was able to sit together. The kids had to wear their masks, and for some strange apparent reason, we only was supposed to take 20 kids on the bus. Unfortunately, I had a bus load. I had 60 kids on the bus, and the windows was down. The airflow had to flow through the bus, and it was a little bit difficult. Then you had people, as far as like the custodians and the cafeteria workers, they were coming in when we were not coming in. As far as like the bus drivers, they had to come in and do the grab and go, clean the schools, make sure everything was wiped down and sanitized during the pandemic. Then we had a Zoom meeting with the Board of Education, and from Max on down to all the members, we fought for heroes pay. We felt that we should have got heroes pay because we are the ones who was on the front line out there with the public, taking the children to school and home. And, we had to take the COVID test weekly. Some, like you said, some people lost their jobs because they did not want to take the shot. We moved from 2 mechanics down to 1 mechanic, and as of today, we still have 1 mechanic, and he does all the work. And he was told that he could not be around anybody. He had to stay to himself, make sure the buses and our white fleet, which is maintenance and operations vehicles, keep moving, and the lawnmowers and stuff, they stay fixed, so they could not come in contact with him at all. Because during the pandemic, not trying to put it out there, he did not take the COVID shot. SEIU helped us keep him there because we needed a mechanic. Without that mechanic, they was getting ready to shut down transportation, because without that mechanic, none of the vehicles would have been able to move forward in the district.
To be able to keep the buses along. Now we'll turn a little bit to the LAUSD strike. Can you tell me a little bit about how you experienced it? Did you participate in some of the activities? Were you like watching what was going on, and how did you experience it, and how did it make you feel knowing that you were part of this union that was doing this huge historic strike?
During the LA Unified strike, it was very exciting. My sister, she lives in Atlanta. As she heard about it, she asked me about it. I had a son that worked for LAUSD. He called me about it, and he told me that he wanted to go to work. I told him no, that he needs to stay at home if he was not going to get out there and strike with everybody else. If he crossed the picket line, that was not a good look for him. So he stayed at home the whole while that the strike was going on. We had members at Santa Monica. They did support LAUSD. Myself, I seen them every morning in the rain, in the cold, out there picketing. It made me feel good that they was fighting for what they wanted, and they got what they wanted towards the end.
Do you think that the victories at LAUSD that they won had an impact on Santa Monica Malibu members as well?
It drove the people in Santa Monica to want to do the same thing. Over in Santa Monica, they did picket, and they walked away with 28%. that they did that for a while, and it turned out to be very good. I have some people calling, they finally got their first paycheck, and one of the members told me it felt like she was getting an income tax check.
Such a good amount. And do you think it was because of the LAUSD strike that there was such a, bigger gains?
Yes, yes. I think so. I think that was part of it. The district was pushing back. They wanted to only give us 4%. The members did not want that. So the local came back and they had a tag team and they communicated and they pushed back and they started picketing. They started going to board meetings, start speaking out, and they finally pushed the board to give us our 28%.
In your experience with Santa Monica, had you ever seen that level of people taking action and picketing and going to the board meeting?
No, I haven't. Other than the pandemic, when we was doing Zoom, then you seen a lot more people there, but in person, that was the first time.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, like Gloria. It was a few years back when the child check system came out. They put transportation in a box. They wanted us to drive the school buses without the child check. They put all 22 drivers in jeopardy of losing their license, losing their livelihood. So all 22 of us, we got together, we talked about it. Then we went over to the district office and we had a conversation with the superintendent, the 3 stewards, and the CFO, and we told them that we were not going to drive the bus at all because that was our jobs. Online, we were to move the bus without the child check system, and the word got out that we weren't moving those buses the next day, and they came back. The next morning, we had certificates in our hands stating that the governor signed off saying that it was okay to move the buses if we had a person riding with us. Me, myself, I had the CFO riding with me on the bus. We had administrators riding on the bus to make sure that every child got off of the bus. But that there showed unity, that all the drivers got together and they was willing not to move the buses, and the district got very scared. They was very panicked that they was going to be sued by the parents, and that, it was just like tragedy that the district was screaming out that, without the child check system, that, they just thought a big lawsuit was just going to happen.
My last question is, what does it mean to you to be a union member? And if you can start, being a union member to me means, or somehow to include the question in your answer.
Being a union member gives me security. It helps me have a voice. It also helps other people to know that we cannot be walked on, that we have somebody backing us up, like we have our own personal lawyer to help us fight against, I'm gonna say, evil. And management to me is evil. Some of them are evil, some of them are nice. But being a member, it's job security, and I feel safe.